live. Hello, everyone.
Ow.
Welcome back to our stream. It's been a minute or so since we got back to our story, but we have everyone here for another exciting night. My name is Nick. I'm playing Minotaur Fighter Drumstick. Below us we have Blazing, played by Jess, who's a Tabaxi Warlock. Over to my right, we have Rodrigo.
Give the full name. Blazing Fire of the Great Jungle.
I'm sorry! Don't yell at me. I was just doing it time-wise. I hate hearing myself talk. I'm sorry. Rodrigo, played by Rachel, who is an air genasi druid. Below her, we've got Sky, who's playing a elf sorcerer named Lestara. And then Warren, who is played by Oliver, who's a human rogue.
I thought you were going to say that backwards for a second.
A rogue human?
No, a Rumen Hogue. Alrighty, and then we are gracefully, and I actually messed that complete thing up. I'm going to pass it to you, Kevin.
Ungracefully transitioning to the DM, me.
Yes, fuck you.
Kevin, yes, that is me. First we're going to start out by pointing out that we're still using our level 1 overlay. That we might not need it all anymore since we've got the D&D Beyond plugin. So we'll have to talk about that later.
Oh, I should bring that up.
So yeah, we had
dice. I got my dice. I got my new fancy dice that I got for Christmas.
Oh, fancy dice?
Yep.
Well,
I'm using a roller because I'm not going over to my desk to get my dice. Y'all
those are
can
fancy
fight
dice.
me.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nick got them for me.
Yeah, I actually added new dice to my dice bag.
Ooh.
I won a raffle on the Idle Champions stream, so I got some Idle Champions dice.
Ooh. Ooh, boo.
They got me a t-shirt and a sweatshirt that hasn't arrived yet, too, so it's a good game. Check it out, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Free plug. We did a bit of timeline jumping around to accommodate the New Year's Eve game we ran. So you guys had last we played, you had, all of you not named Rodrigo, had visited Blue Alley, which was a bit of a dungeon crawl, and that didn't end perfectly. You guys exited slightly prematurely and missed the goal, which I'm sure disappointed Vincent Trench, who had led you there and helped you get in. What was that, Jess? Do you have some type of attachment to Vincent Trench? Is he special to you?
I like him.
He's cool.
He's cool.
Yeah, he's a favorite of mine too. I like graying things out to accommodate him.
I may or may not fall into a drugged stupor at some point tonight. So.
Yeah, you're recovering from surgery, so this is not recreational.
No.
Jess is just too busy getting lit over here eating mashed potatoes and chicken.
Okay, because anybody who's watching the stream doesn't know, I have been craving KFC for like 4 days since I had surgery, and somebody finally brought me KFC, so yeah, I'm going to shove it in my face.
It's just his character arc realized.
Yep. Hey, go for it. Go all in. Live your bliss. But most recently in the timeline was the game Nick had run, where we had visited the Thon estate for a fancy dinner party.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, it's all about that lighting, what you got going on there, Nick. It's pretty extreme.
No, it's not that. I noticed my camera get a little fuzzy, so I just wanted to correct it. I know.
So yeah,
Sorry,
Nick ran an excellent game, which involved a bunch of us visiting the Thon estate for a party, and ended with me riding a table off into the sunset and realizing one of my greatest life goals.
It was fucking beautiful.
And then on returning from the party, without Drumstick had left you that evening. The four of you were returning to Troll Skull Manor when a few blocks ahead of you, you saw a fireball rip across the open street. Front side of the one building is burning. People were thrown out of the way. caught in the explosion. People are screaming, smoke and debris is everywhere. Drumstick, you were returning home from the opposite direction and see this same fireball from the far side of the street.
A fireball.
Yeah,
Seems exciting. I'll just start walking towards it.
yeah, like this happens maybe 100 yards from the front doors to Troll Skull Manor.
Oh, that's not good. I'm just gonna start like panickingly pick up my pace a little bit, making my way downtown, walking fast.
Okay. Yeah, and as you're running towards the explosion, a lot of people are running away from it. So you're kind of going against the grain of traffic. Not many people are going to be getting in your way, though, when a running Minotaur is...
Move!
Move!
Yes! Move!
Now, the other four of you, what are you going to be
I'm
doing?
on top of the carriage.
You were on top of the carriage! I had
The
forgotten about
vaccine
that
address
completely.
on top of the carriage.
Yep.
Mhm.
I'm on the horse.
I
talking
remember,
To the driver.
yeah, Rodrigo's on the horse.
Okay. Yeah, it's all coming back to me now.
We had some weird shit going on.
You always do, and that's why I love you guys. So yeah, you've got your carriage contraption of conveyance. See that alliteration? We're gonna roll with that tonight. So what are you guys gonna do on that side of the explosion?
So did the fireball come at us, or
No. It was
okay?
It was well away from you. If it was directed at you, they missed horribly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure about that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna remain where I am on top of this carriage until we figure out what the fuck's going on.
Is it loud enough to scare the horses, or are they just kind of stopped?
Well, let's see.
Oh.
I hadn't considered panicked horses until that exact moment, but now that you mention it, they startle for a moment. But these horses are accustomed to odd goings on in the city, and soon after the shockwave from the blast passes, they're fine.
Oh, okay. I'll turn around to face the explosion, but not actually get off the horse. I'll just start petting it.
There, calm down, dear.
All right, Warren, how are you?
So is it going to be faster for us to? The carriage is headed in that direction, correct?
Correct.
Or has it stopped now that they?
Well, at the moment you're stopped.
Okay. Once I make sure that everyone else in the carriage is perfectly fine, I'm just going to jump out and make a beeline straight through the crowd as best as I can.
All right.
See what's going on.
Yeah, you dodging through the crowd will happen pretty quick. You're jumping through there. Lestara, here's something that's a little bit unique in your experience. Something's on fire and it's not your fault.
Yes! Finally! No burnt popcorn here.
No.
God.
What's your plan in all of this?
I'm just gonna stay behind so I don't get blamed for this.
Okay, so you're gonna take a low profile.
Low profile. For right now.
Drumstick and Warren, you guys come up on the scene at about the same time.
Oh,
And
fancy
it's a
seeing you
me-
here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to glance at him very quickly. It wasn't your fault, right?
I literally just got back. No.
Okay. Just making sure.
Do I seem
Now I
like
want
an
to see the
elemental?
Minotaur cast a fireball.
Yeah, no, I just said, fireball, and then it came here. No. Don't worry, it's not me. Sorry, I'm super salty for some reason.
No, go with it.
This bitch is always salty.
True.
So yeah, it looks like the fireball it caught a bunch of. Who did we lose? We lost Sky.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully that'll get corrected quickly. Oh, we're going to be all funky on the windows again, aren't we?
That's okay. I just kind of. This is just a temporary layout. Obviously, uh, obviously Jess is.
Oh.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, there we go.
We are back.
Shit.
Okay. So yeah, what you guys see in front of you is there's a bunch of people have been caught directly in the blast. There's a human female who's just laying still on the ground. Two cloaked human males that have swords on their hips are thrown up against the one building and laying crumpled at the bottom. There's a gnome clutching something in his hand that's near the center of the blast, and then a group of 4 halflings are tossed about on the one side of things. Surrounding all this, there's wounded people and those who are coming to see what's going on. People screaming for the watch. This is a fairly dramatic disaster.
I'm gonna. Is there still like a wall of flames at all, or?
The side of the one building has some fire on. It's like caught, but it hasn't engulfed the building or anything like that. But there's things are burning all over the place.
Okay.
Fireball goes off, it catches any flammable material. So carts, cart on fire, some straw, things like that are still smoldering or burning.
All right. I want to try to get into that building and see if there's anyone that I need to warn to get out, if possible.
Sure. The building is the Corellian's Crown. That's the greenhouse that's down the block from where you are.
Oh shit.
So yeah, a bunch of those windows are blown out.
All right.
And there's a elf woman who's casting a spell to douse the flames inside. And as soon as he gets in, she's like, "There's a trough of water over to the right. Bring it over here."
All right. I'll do that.
She screams out orders, like she's used to being in charge of things.
I will follow in line with those orders with no question.
All right, give me a strength check. It's a heavy trough of water.
All right. This
Thank you.
trough of mine is. Let me see. I just need to see. Oh yeah. Okay. That's what it is. That's gonna be 16.
Okay. Yeah, when you bring that over, she casts a spell, and the water leaps up out of the trough, and kind of forms up into a human-shaped being, and starts to walk around and just touch the flames, putting things out.
I'm gonna stagger back a little bit lift it really quick because I'm using
It's
all my
empty now.
strength to hold it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's when the water leaps out, the trough is dry, bone dry.
Yeah, and in that moment when the water leaps out, I'm still trying to use my full force to kind of keep it up, but in that moment that it leaps out, it's gonna go stagger back and just notice how cool this is.
Warren, you're on the outside. You saw Droomstick run into a building. You can see the water elemental inside with him dealing with the fire.
I'm going to do 2 things. First, I'm going to do a quick scan of anyone that's left in the area to see if anyone is acting suspicious, like they're not surprised that any of this is going down, or they're trying to distance themselves, or they're just watching.
Give me a perception check.
Check. Oh, that's an 8.
Okay. 8 on die or 8 total?
8 total.
Okay.
I rolled a 3.
Don't you have an ability that kicks in on that?
I think it's only to detect lies. Let me see. So I've got ear for deceit, which can be used for lies, and then eye for detail, which is I can just use bonus action for my perception checks.
Okay. The only thing you spot on that jumps out at you immediately is there's a young boy who's getting out of a water barrel.
Okay. And since I have done that, I am going to turn my attention to see if any of the people that were nearby and are injured need any sort of care.
There's quite a few people who are injured.
I'll just pick the one that looks the worst or the one that's closest, and just see what I can do to help them.
Are you trained in medicine?
I am not trained in medicine.
Okay. So you're going to go to the closest person then?
Yeah.
Okay. The three of you back at the carriage. You see Warren, who's going to work and scurrying about.
Can we see him from where we are?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
You said there was injured people, right?
correct.
I'm gonna hop off the top of this this carriage, and I'm gonna go help some of the injured people since I can
Okay.
heal people.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that too.
Okay. So the two of you are going to deploy some healing.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm the only asshole that's here.
Yep.
It's like, dude,
Yeah.
do I help? No, I'll just stay back.
Okay. So yeah, Warren, give me a medicine roll. This is a simple one.
Yeah, I'm not trained in it, but I've
That's fine.
passed a couple of the first aid checks in our ventures before, so that is an 11.
Okay.
The fuck?
You can you find a woman who's richly dressed, and you spot that she's actually carrying a silver unicorn statue
Oh,
that you recall was your goal from entering the Blue Alley. She was leaving Vincent Trench's office.
okay. Well, that's a coincidence.
Yeah, and you're able to quickly stabilize her. About that point in time, Blaze and Rodrigo show up on scene, and with your healing magic available to you, you can make quite a difference here quickly.
Yes.
So within a matter of moments, you've stabilized anyone else who was any risk of death.
Woo.
But several people are beyond your care. The group of halflings, two men with swords, the gnome, the old woman are all dead.
Oh, too bad. So sad.
The compassion.
You bitch.
It's
Just
just
why you're in the carriage.
Yeah. Well, sorry. You sticking back in the carriage?
Yeah, I'll stay over here.
I love it. You bitch. This is why you're in the carriage.
The carriage driver looks over at you. Is like, yeah, I'm not getting involved in that either.
Like, yeah, it's too much right now. I don't play well with others.
It shows.
Droomstick. After a few moments, it's obvious that the water elemental has things under control, and all the major bits of fire are out. At that point, your neighbor dismisses the elemental, and the water drops back in place in the trough.
Okay. I'm gonna see that there's really nothing else for me to do, and it seems like she has it under control.
Yeah,
So
she does. She thanks you for your assistance, recognizes you as one of her neighbors.
oh, hello, neighbor. First time introducing. Yeah, it's like what an introduction. And I'm just gonna say my goodbyes and like quickly, and then kind of leave to see if there's anything else
Sure.
that needs help.
Warren, how are you handling things at the moment?
Well, if all of the survivors are clear, and I don't see anything else out of the ordinary with the people, is there any evidence at all of what the origin of the explosion was to begin with?
It's you're fairly certain it was a fireball spell. Pretty common, potent combat magic.
So the lady that I first pulled, is she conscious? Is she okay, or are they
Yes, she is.
all...
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'm just going to ask her, what happened here.
She describes the scene where she was just leaving the tiger's eye, and the fireball fell from above and struck the group of men over there. She points to the men with swords and the gnome, and she was flung backwards after that. She didn't see too much else. But I vaguely remember seeing someone up on the roof.
Okay. I'm gonna thank her for her help and tell her she should probably sit tight until the guards get here, which will probably not be too long. Then I'm gonna go over to the Rodrigo and Blazing, and I'm gonna tell him what I've been told, and suggest that maybe one of the two of them or both of them should go see what's going on up there. They can get a better.
Well, are the people with the swords, are they dead or alive?
Dead.
I'm gonna actually go over and look at them.
Sure.
Because they were the ones clearly attacked, so there's gotta be a reason?
Give me a perception check.
Sorry, I'm using an actual dice roller instead of my dice.
It's all good. It happens.
16.
Okay. One of the men has a winged serpent tattoo on his forearm.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. And then the gnome has sewer muck on his boots.
You said that the gnome looked like he was clutching something, right?
Yes. There's a bag in his hand.
All right. I will gently take that bag from his charred hand and take a look inside.
There's 5 sizable gemstones in that bag.
Guys, better bring that back.
Wow.
You get nothing.
You're not here, so we don't hear you right now.
I
You get
wonder if it was payment for something. Or if they were delivering it to somebody.
They don't need it.
payment for what, though?
I don't know. Clearly some shady shit if they were killed.
Rodrigo,
Yes.
does anything pique your curiosity or interest?
Sorry. I can go up on the roof that someone saw something at.
Yeah. You going to use your levitation to get up top?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. You pop your spell, and it's a little weird because you're floating sober.
Yeah.
And,
As far as you know.
when you get up top, this is the first time you've really kind of been up here near Troll Skull Manor. But the houses are mostly connected. So there's sometimes 10, 12 houses and then a narrow alley. And I'd like you to start with a perception check up here.
Oh, what the fuck? 9.
Fine, okay. Looking down at the scene below you, you can you see that dripping wet boy who's almost directly below where you're at right now. And from where you're at, you can see where the center of the fireball was, and everything was blasted out from it. So you kind of get a tactical overview of things.
Mhm.
If the target was near the center of the blast, it was almost certainly either the gnomes or the Zentarum, the gnome or the Zentarum. The halflings and the old woman seem to be lateral damage.
Okay. I don't think I need to do it.
The other thing you can see from up here is you see a watch patrol off in the distance. They should be here in a minute or two at most.
Okay. I guess I'll
Okay.
like float back down and tell them what I saw.
Yeah, you know that as soon as the watch gets here, they're going to quickly take control of this crime scene.
Yeah. So
So,
I'll tell them to do whatever they need to do before they get here.
I'm gonna just absentmindedly hand the bag of gems over to Blazing and tell her to take care of them. I'm gonna
gonna
go over. So the kid in the barrel was just below, the building that wherever the fireball presumably
Yes.
came from. So okay, so I'm gonna go over to him. I'm gonna help him out of that barrel, and I'm gonna ask him what he saw because he was pretty close to it. He didn't say.
I was watching the halflings. They were playing music and dancing, and then the explosion happened and knocked me into the barrel, and then this fell into it. And he holds up this necklace. It looks like a charm type of necklace, and several of the charms are torn off of it, but the two that remain are these orange spheres that sort of have a rippling fire like effect going through the center of these spheres.
That's interesting. I'll offer him a silver piece for that, and then I will tell him that he should probably sit tight and the guards will be here soon.
Okay, that's okay. He's a little bit in shock from all of this, but he sits down, waits for the guards.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You've exited the greenhouse, the Corellian's Crown.
Yes. So I've left the greenhouse and excuse me. So do I get told by Warren that like what the like what had happened, or do I not make it out in time for that?
Yeah, pretty much everybody but Lestara knows what's going on at this.
Okay. And I'm sorry. I hate to be that guy. What can we like recap on like what the boy said?
So he was just watching the halflings perform music. The explosion happened. It knocked him back into the barrel. Something else fell into the barrel with him, and it's this necklace that I've just taken off of him.
Okay. Can I take a look at that necklace?
Be my guest.
Okay.
I'll hand it over to him and let him take a look.
And I want to see, is there anything that stands out about this necklace that I can tell, or like
Do
does
you
it look familiar things on it? Like, have I seen it in my travels?
Not specifically. You can see that it's expensive looking,
Okay.
and then the charms, they do look like they're designed to be torn off.
Can I detect magic on it?
Oh yeah, it glows. It's got a pretty solid evocation enchantment tied to it.
And what do the different charms look like? Are they kind of like different shapes?
There's just two charms left. They're both orange spheres that have a pulsing, swirling fire in it.
Oh man.
I kind of want to assume that's probably where the fireball came from. Whoever was wearing it probably ripped one of the charms off. I don't know if that's how that would work, but
Give me an Arcana check.
I have a negative one in
She
Arcana.
fails these every time.
That's my speculation, but
What is
Yeah,
this
you might-
dice roller? I got an NAN.
What the
Not
hell is
Maybe you rolled
that?
a 1 and it turned out to be a 0.
I haven't put in anything in for the.
Okay.
I don't know. Hold on, let me.
Gosh, she's high as fuck.
Yeah, I literally rolled a 1, so I got a fucking 0.
Okay.
Oh,
Yep.
God.
You have no idea. You look at it, you kind of get like lost in like the way that Detect Magic's playing off the swirling fire.
Yeah.
It kind of does one of those fractal things where you just kind of fall into it for a minute. And no, wow.
No,
Pull
I mean
yourself back.
it's shiny.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
shiny, blazing, fiery magic. I want it.
You may
Assuming
want.
the guard is coming up quickly, I'm gonna pocket that.
Okay.
Or somebody should
I'm
pocket it.
actually I'm gonna keep a hold of that. You can
Yeah.
hold the bag of gems
Okay.
because I'm more interested in the necklace right now. So I'm gonna hold on to it.
Yeah.
That said, even if that is how it works, that doesn't really help us figure out who was using it at the time.
No, but at least would let us know how the fireball was made. But you know, I'm a dumbass with Arcana.
Are there
Yeah,
any?
do you know anyone who's got some magical training?
I can think of 2 people, possibly.
Someone nearby, maybe.
Yeah,
Not really.
I was thinking of taking it over to that the guy who worked in the library store, whatever the heck the name of his store was.
Oh, yeah, I
if
like
he's
him
there
too.
right now.
Yeah, he's kind of standing in his doorway, looking on at things.
Excuse me, sir. Can you help?
Yeah. What was his name? Rashal.
Hi.
I'm gonna put that in
Hey,
my
remember
notes.
us?
Hmm. Yeah, the Gold Dragonborn.
Yeah. Who tried to get me to join the thing, or is trying to get me to join the I can't think of what it's called.
Yeah, and I think did we get the store credit for when we
Yes.
sold that book?
Yeah, that
Okay.
store credit's still floating out there.
So he
Yeah,
should at
Water
least remember
Mages and
blazing.
Protectionists, I believe, was the name of the group.
So I'm gonna take blazing and we're gonna make our way over to him.
Sure.
And
Alrighty.
I'm just going to ask him what he saw. Was he working at the time?
He was actually near the window of his shop when it happened, and yeah, I saw the explosion, recognized what it was immediately, and there was someone who survived the explosion who snatched something off the ground. Looked like I can't tell what it was, but it was about the size of a small loaf of bread. And he limped off towards the east end of the street near the Bent Nail, which is the carpentry shop at the end of the block.
Okay. I'm gonna show him this necklace. I'm not gonna hand it to him, but I'll show him and I'll ask him what he makes of it.
He inspects it for a half second. It's like, that is a necklace of fireballs. You will most
It is a necklace of balls.
I mean,
You will-
if Blaze is just
you will
like,
most certainly want to give that to the watch. It's likely the murder weapon.
Okay. So how long ago did this guy leave towards the bent nail?
He would have left within the last, I'm gonna say, it's maybe 5 minutes from the explosion.
All right. The watch can wait. They'll get the necklace eventually. I think we should immediately.
The watch are arriving now.
Well, yeah, we don't have time to get into an interrogation right now. I think we should immediately make our way towards the bent nail, see if we can track down whoever this person fleeing was.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
I'm gonna go to the carriage and be like, bitch, come on, let's go, get out.
I'll kind of wake up and be like, oh, fine.
You're in the middle of snoring. But what?
What?
Let's go.
Be like, all right, let's go.
In the time it takes you to run back to the carriage, grab Lestara, and get back to the group, the watch are starting to cordon off the scene, and kind of take account of what happened. So within moments, they're going to be starting to ask questions of people. So if you want to get away from here, you're going to have to do that now.
I'm
Yes,
gonna,
let's go.
I'm gonna just make my way out of there because I'm not in a social mood right now.
Yeah, I've let the party know what I think we should do, and I'm going to lead whoever is willing to go down the road towards the Bent Nail in track of this person who had something.
The bent
Something.
nail sounds painful. I'm in for it.
I'm in. Let's go.
Let's get our suburban middle-aged moms. Let's speed walk out of here. Let's go.
Making my way to the PTA meeting.
As
Karen.
Warren, as you get down the street and you're trying to find any sign of this guy who's passed, you still with us, Jess?
Jess,
Hello?
you look fucking spaced out, man.
No, I'm here. Somebody sent me a message and I was replying to them.
Okay, no,
So I'm like here. I'm not asleep.
Yeah, well,
I
I was
was a
just
little-
confirming that because you looked out of there for a minute.
Yeah.
I am like
You look
the
like
painkillers kicked in.
All right,
So I'm
all right.
like doing okay, but I am fuzzy as shit right now.
If you need to tap out, just let us know. No dishonor in that.
dishonor on you.
I'm not a fucking quitter. I got my. You can't see it, but my thing of mashed potatoes is like resting on the corner of my laptop. So
Oh, that won't end badly.
You didn't finish that thing?
So Warren, you're sliding down the street here and looking for any trace of this whoever it was that left the scene. So let's go with another perception check.
Okay, let's see if I can do better this time. Rolled a 13, so 18.
Yeah. Every now and then you'll catch like a charred handprint or something like that. You can tell that whoever it is, they're bleeding and they're bleeding and they're leaving like soot marks as they go. They pass the bent nail and continue off in the direction of there's a place where you got a couple of upscale homes in the neighborhood. They're not nearly as nice as the stuff you'd see in the C ward, but these are the closest things to that in the North Ward. And here you've got a lot of people who are still kind of talking about what's going on. The rumor mill's in full effect. As you go, people are asking you, and did you see what happened?
I'm just gonna, whenever someone asks me that, I'm just gonna say there was some kind of fireball. Have you seen anyone pass by here that looks like they were involved in that?
Someone says, yeah, I did spot something strange. There was I don't think it was a man. I think it was like a large puppet or a marionette who leapt across the roofs near here.
Ooh.
Just a few moments after the explosion happened.
And he didn't catch fire?
We're chasing a puppet.
Oh god, that's fucking scary. I'm gonna just shiver a little bit and just not be happy with hearing that.
Nick, after the game, remind me to tell you what my plan B was for our New Year's Eve game.
Okay.
Let
Let me write that down.
he said it was like a marionette. Now, the four of you that are everyone, give me a history or religion check if you've got either skill.
I
Sorry.
do.
Just an
have
intelligence
history.
check if you have neither.
History or what was it?
Religion.
Okay, intelligence if I have neither.
Wait, what?
So that's a 14 on my history check.
Ooh, Ooh, shit, 17. Even with a -1, nice.
Oh
Okay.
gosh.
Wait, is it a history check?
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna bother. I have a -1.
Okay.
I just,
Oh.
yeah, I have same, but I got a
I
same.
got a 17.
Okay.
I have a 23 on my history check.
Okay.
Alright,
Stara,
Sky.
Yo.
you that triggers a bell for you. One of the local temples, Temple of Gond, they do a yearly parade through the city where they put on display all of their clockwork and animatronics that they work on throughout the year. Gond is the god of craftsmen, so he takes a kind of a showing off how good they are at what they do.
Ooh.
Okay, well, if there is a marionette involved, whoever we're currently chasing doesn't seem like they're a marionette because they're leaving
They're
blood
leaving
on
Mary.
our trail. So whoever
They
we're
were also
chasing,
at street level. The puppet was on the roofs.
right? So it's possible the puppet was the one that threw the fireball, and this person is a survivor of whatever deal was being interrupted. So do we have a noticeable trail that we can still follow?
Well, at this point, the trail's getting a bit thin. You're the bleeding may have stopped, or they may have popped off a different alley. But this is a well-traveled street, so following them beyond this point is going to be a bit harder. But they definitely ran in this direction, and they both came in this direction.
So it's likely those two are possibly connected.
Very likely.
Where are we currently? If we keep heading this way, what are we going to run into? Is there...
Within the next few blocks, it's almost entirely residential. And these are the almost rich enough to move into this and afford property in the C Ward. This is like the most rich and uppity section of the North Ward.
So basically, oh god, fancy townhouses, basically, right?
Yeah. Like these people would, the people that live in that area would almost certainly try to refer to their homes as estates, or they're reaching upwards on the social ladder.
Oh, okay, alrighty.
Or falling downward.
Both.
Just minutes away from death.
True.
Always.
Basically, it's harder to see the trail at this point. But if we keep going, I actually, let's try and investigate this area. He may have gone into one of these houses.
What are we gonna do? Go into all of them?
Knock
no.
knock, have you seen a puppet around?
Hi, we're looking for someone who's a little ashy and also a puppet.
Might smell like fire.
Yeah. No,
It's not
I
your
mean,
Lord and Savior.
our Lord and Savior. I mean, what else do we have at this point? We really can't do anything else. Either that or we just turn home and ignore it all, but I don't think that's a viable option.
I mean, the best we can do is just spread out and continue asking bystanders if they've seen anything suspicious. I don't know what other leads we have.
As you spread out and start asking people, it doesn't take that long when a group of watchmen comes down the street, and they're also asking people. And those people are pointing at you when the watchmen spot you. And
Because
at that
we're
point,
asking
they start coming directly towards you.
No shit. I don't know them.
seem like they're coming at us aggressively, or is it they just want to?
They're not like at a full battle charge or anything like that, but they're coming at you directly.
Okay.
Like making eye contact full way while they're walking.
And one of them, he's a shorter man with a purple robe and these greenish colored Coke bottle glasses. Holds up a hand. He's like, hold for the watch.
Okay, I wasn't moving anyways, but
Hold
all right.
what?
Hold what?
Is anyone going to run?
No.
I'm not
No.
gonna.
I'm asking them what they want me to hold.
No, I'm good.
When they approach, it's the man in the purple robe, and beside him is a taller guy in guard watch uniform, but he's just got like a mess of unkempt hair. And then there's two uniformed watchmen behind him. And it's like, were you at the incident in Troll Skull Alley a moment ago?
I'm going to tell them we were not at the incident. We arrived there just as whatever happened had finished happening. I'm going to give them a
So
rundown.
you were there.
Well, we did not see the incident.
We were at the tent.
I'm going to tell them that I helped pull some people out of the ground zero. Droomstick helped the greenhouse put the fire out.
I healed
The
people.
shaggy-haired guy is like writing notes in a notebook as you.
And then I'm going to tell him that the owner of the bookstore, we asked him what he had seen, and he gave us
Yes, he was the
testimony.
one that we spoke to him.
Right. So he gave us testimony that he saw someone who was apparently injured or something escaping the scene to the east. So we have made our way in this direction. I'm going to tell him that we were just following the trail of blood, and I'm also going to tell him what we were told about the figure jumping from the rooftops headed in the same direction.
Figure on the rooftop.
Yeah, Pinocchio.
I see. And again, the shaggy-haired guy's writing all this down. And then you chose to leave the scene of a crime?
Yes. I mean, we were there before you. We were closer
Harumph.
to this person who was fleeing. So,
We felt it was the right thing to track them down, and bring it to justice.
I mean, we live not 100 feet away from where this happened. It's in our best interest to figure out whoever's throwing fireballs in our neighborhood.
Yeah, we don't need our flowers being destroyed by fireballs. That would be not the best thing.
It's best to leave matters of the watch in the hand.
Okay, but it's our fucking neighborhood.
Well, fuck the watch.
If you want to be like that, alright.
The short man, like, he's at least 2.5 feet shorter than you, Drumstick, but when he's looking up at you, there is, like, he's not intimidated by your size.
Oh, I'm not trying to be intimidating. I'm just trying to give him as much sass as possible because
Yeah. He's got, give me an insight roll.
All right. I need to look at that to do that. There we go. Where the fuck did you go? Oh, insight. That is a 4.
All right. When civilians get involved in matters of the watch, nothing good can come from it.
Okay. Alright. I'm just gonna leave it as that. I'm not even gonna, respond after that, because at that point, I'm like... I'm done with him, but I also am gonna be like, alright, but I'm still going to do whatever I want to.
He pointed to your place and put you in it.
I'm going to clear my throat, and I'm going to say, judging by the bodies back there on the street, there were already some civilians that were involved.
Ha ha ha.
Yes. And the young boy, Martin, he had mentioned something of a necklace.
Yeah, I'll take out the necklace and I'll turn it over to him now.
I'll have you know that removing evidence from a crime scene is in and of itself a crime.
Yeah, Warren, why would you do that?
All right.
Y'all just like.
I am not going to be intimidated by this person, whoever he is. I'm going to stand just straight and look ahead. I'm going to tell him, listen, we've seen these attacks happen all over the city. There are people dying every day. My father died every day to these same kinds of attacks. The Watch have not done anything.
He's kind of a bit taken aback by that. It's a stressful moment. I understand. I was not going to charge you with crime. You came forward with it quickly enough. But in all sincerity, the Watch is well equipped to deal with it, and we will be dealing with it. And this is not the first time that your name has shown up in one of our reports. Almost all of it has been exemplary service to WATERDEEP. And I meant no disrespect. But I would truly advise you to leave this matter in the hands.
All right, I'll back down and say, listen, the cleanup is fine, but there needs to be a way to prevent these kinds of things from happening.
Agreed. And we will be putting our full resources into this scenario and bring it to a swift conclusion. I assure you. Is there anything you wished to add to your statement?
I think that's everything we were able to uncover.
And you were residents of the Trollskull Manor?
Yeah.
I mean, we
So
still
we'll-
are, but yeah. What, did something change?
We may need to question you again if further details arise.
Sorry, just the way that you said it almost seems like, well, I've been gone for a couple days and the house is gone? Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, you haven't even gotten home yet. You still got your traveling back with you.
I'm just gonna look at the group and be like, did our house get taken away?
It disappeared.
Oh shit.
Well, you'll know where to find us if you need additional information or help.
And the tall, shaggy-haired guy flips his notebook closed. He's like,
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry. The dog. I thought my door was closed, but all of a sudden it like pushed open and the dog came waddling in.
"Hi."
I was very confused.
The shaggy-haired guy closes his notebook, and the four watchmen return to the scene to conclude their to continue their investigation. Which leaves the five of you more or less alone in this the street.
Well, maybe we should just head back to our home then.
I say conspiracy theory.
I'm not wrong.
You need a nap.
It's a D&D game in a city. There's at least a dozen conspiracy theory going on.
Let's go out clubbing.
Sure, I guess.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah,
I
was
mean, we're
being
still
sarcastic.
dressed up for it, right?
Warren, give me a. I'm going to call it a. Are you trained in history?
I am, yes.
Give me a history check.
Out of the box. Hold on. Oh, that's a natural one.
Okay.
Oh,
You're certain the watch has procedures to handle something like this, and they're going to, probably follow them in a fairly rigid manner, but you're not sure what they are.
Alright, well, if we've got nothing else to do, then I guess we head back home.
Boo.
I got slightly excited by clubbing, but okay, I guess we'll go home.
No.
So when you get back to Trollskull Manor, Broomstick, you haven't been home in 2 or 3 days. You were out on your visit,
Mhm.
and everyone else has been to the party at the Thon estate since.
Oh,
Now,
Oh.
there was something else that happened at the end of the night with the in the Blue Alley when you got deposited in the Yawning Portal. You ran into Yagra.
Mhm.
Do you recall that?
I do. I remember that. She was, she gave us some money to hold on to. But I don't remember.
But you're still well. You would have had a. She gave you 1,000 gold pieces worth of gold trade bars,
Mhm.
which are gold ingots worth about 50 gold apiece.
Mhm.
So you've got 10 of those.
And
She had.
we were told that we could invest that or hold on to it for her. If we invested it, that we would have to pay her back when we got that amount back.
Right. She had mentioned that her boss in the Zentarum had gotten himself involved in something, and she thought he was over his head.
Mhm.
So with the whatever that happened to be, she thought things were going to get bad for the Zentarum in the near future.
Right. So we have to protect this gold and put it somewhere safe, because I don't feel very safe anymore since there are fireballs happening outside our house. So, what would you guys like to do with it? For the time being.
I'm gonna ask where you got it, because I don't. The
Oh,
only
yeah,
time
they don't
I've
know
actually
about
been
it.
Yeah, it was only you and Blaze that knew about the money at that point.
Oh, sorry. Hey, guys, I have money here. I got it from sources
friend.
unknown. A friend, yes.
A friend of ours asked us to hold on to it for the.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys want to spend it and not hold on to it?
We could do
No,
either
they
or.
said we could invest it in our business. We just have to make sure to pay them back. That
I
sounds
don't know
sketchy,
if I'm
but it's
comfortable. I don't know if I'm comfortable spending the money from this mystery source.
When did they
No.
say they were going to come back?
Whenever.
Oh, cool. So it could be like tomorrow.
Yep.
No, they said
Suspicious.
it would probably be what was it? It was like a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah. That seems viable. If we get ourselves up and running by 2 hours from now, we should be good.
It would be enough money to get the tavern up and running as a cafe, to pay for the remaining supplies you'd need, cover some staffing and guild fees. So it would be enough to cover that,
I mean,
should you so choose.
hey, we wanted to make some money, and I have a little crafting thing that we could make some money on the side with a little shop. If we wanted to. I have it here somewhere. I just can't find it on my fucking sheet because I'm stupid. What is it? I can't remember what it was. I think it was pottery or something.
That's
Oh, potter's tools. Yes. So
yeah.
yes, come in for some chai lattes and walk out with a nice bowl.
So glass pieces on the side.
Yes, it'll be bowl in a china shop. Oh my god, bowl in a china shop cafe, guys.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, it's a nice idea, but nobody just hands over 1,000 gold, no strings attached.
Well, you don't know that.
Well, I mean, there were strings attached. We gotta pay back.
Yeah. That was the only stipulation that I know of.
And the interest is?
As far as I know, there's none.
There's always interest.
You mean
would.
monetary or personal interest?
Both.
Both.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know
The
where this
interest
money's
would
coming
probably
from.
be Droomstick.
You disappear for days, and you come back with 1,000 gold.
Yeah, don't question my lifestyle.
And now he wants to sell pot.
Yes. I'm living the dream. Just
I
let
think
me
people
live.
should go away more, you know? I go away, I get invited to a fancy party, you go away, you get 1,000 gold, let's see the pattern.
Right? I mean, if anything, I want to know. This is what we decided to do. That we wanted to actually get this place up and running at some point. And we have when we got the funds, and we have the funds. So it's not like if we open this place, we're not gonna make any. Like we're not gonna make no money. You know, unless, God forbid, we just didn't know how to manage it properly.
Which is possible.
I mean, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, why not? Let's dip our foot into the water and just go with it.
Don't forget, we got the urchins, so I think they're
True.
good.
Don't have to pay the staff. Just keep them under our roof.
Yeah. The three of them, Jenks, Squidly, and Nat, pretty much like since you got back from the Blue Alley, they seem to have nothing but questions about how the adventure went.
I'm going to turn to them and just excitedly explain like what had happened and just tell them like obviously gonna make myself look a little bit better than how it actually went, but like
What do you give them on the highlight reel?
oh god, what was a highlight for me other than in real life glass breaking?
You got slightly digested by the ceiling.
I'm gonna tell them all about that and say how I fought off a ceiling monster.
Nat signs something off, and Squidly just starts laughing. It's like, you got hit by a mimic.
I'm gonna look very discouraged and like
And she just kind of sits back, like, I wouldn't have fallen for that.
okay.
Oh, well, you don't know that, Missy.
Wow, way to call me out, guys. And then I'm just gonna like huff and turn away and just kind of like sulk in the corner. Feel fucking ridiculed by children. God damn it.
I'm gonna walk up giggling, because I'm gonna go get some fruit from the kitchen!
Oh yeah, don't we have wine in the basement now after
Yeah, Warren's
Well,
been
he's-
stocking food, so whatever.
Yeah,
he's-
the Thawns said they were going to give us some of their wine, but that, I mean, we just left the party, so I doubt that it's here yet. But we're going to get some of that eventually.
oh, sweet. You guys should go to parties more often, and I'll just go and do my thing.
I'll go to the mountains more.
Yeah, there you go.
Where you'll meet strange boys on griffins.
Yes! And get free wine!
I love that Rachel's room is just like a rave.
Do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah!
Alright, so we're in agreement though. We want to use this money to actually open our business, correct?
I didn't think we agreed to that.
I don't know if Warren is in agreement. I don't think he's going to accept 1,000 gold from a mystery donor to fund this
Trust
new
me.
business.
The gold is fine. not like he just did it by himself. I know what's going on too. We're good.
I don't know if he trusts you either.
Blaze,
I mean, fair enough.
Blaze, the entire time you're talking, you've got a bag in your hand.
I do.
A bag with 5 sizable gems in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he brought it back.
Here we go. That'll be part of the payment, you know?
Who says you can have these?
I
Nice.
wasn't gonna take them, but I was just suggesting.
If you get now that you're off the street and can take a better look at those, you would give a rough estimate. The value of each of those gems is somewhere between 75 and 150 gold
Whew.
for each of them.
All right.
So that's roughly half the 1,000-piece gold value right there.
Would it make you feel better, Warren, if we used half of that money and then we got these?
I'm gonna frown at you. We probably should have turned those over to the guards as well, you know.
You know what?
Yeah, but they're nothing compared to the murder weapon, Warren, which you were hiding on your person.
Well,
I'm
we
very
don't know what
disappointed in you.
we don't know what they are.
Point to Droomstick.
Just nods, just not nods, but like just shaking my head. I'm ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Look, you can play dumb if you want, and that you don't know where the money came from. But let's just do this, or else we're not gonna get it done.
I'm in agreement with Blazing.
We'll make sure we'll make the money back
Mm-hmm.
within, 3 weeks.
I'm gonna say go for it while I'm shoving grapes in my mouth from the kitchen doorway.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
all
go
for it.
I say yes.
Whatever keeps the citrus train rolling.
Mhm. I'm gonna turn to the kids and be like, "Do you want to start a new adventure and get the chance to talk to other adventurers, or serve other adventurers?" And kids are just silent, I guess.
Well, yeah, the kids are kind of like just sitting there, kind of listening to everything, and they're a little confused over all of the information that's been thrown at them in the last few minutes.
Oh,
Um,
poor things.
and Jenks looks over at Lestara and is like, "Did you do the fireball?"
For the last time, we don't talk about that stuff. But no, it wasn't me. It was pretty cool, though.
Well, then who was it?
I don't
That
know.
bitch was in the carriage the whole time.
And I was kind of just taking a nap. I don't know who did it. I think it was like a Pinocchio person.
A what?
You know, like in the whale. Go in the mouth. Go.
Are you high?
What's in that Pepsi you're drinking?
Wine's not even here yet, and Ari Lestara is just drunk off her ass.
I mean, for granted, I do have the flu, so yes, I am kind of high.
Ew.
Was it one of the Gonsman stings?
I'm going to turn to him and ask, what exactly do you mean by that?
The clockwork men that the Gonsmen make and put on parade every year. I like the parade.
Oh, so you guys have seen this before?
Oh yeah, it goes through the entire city. Every year.
Around this time?
Sure. Ask me a question, and I have to do some calendar math on.
Nice guy.
God,
That's
you ruin
my
everything.
No, it last happened about 3 months ago. but it looks kind of like that when it happens.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay, so
It's
that
called the
one.
Day of Wonders, and it happens early in the spring. You're
Dawn
currently
of my
you're
birthday.
about a month away from midsummer.
Hmm.
What do they do when they're not parading?
Oh, they do whatever they do in the House of Inspired Hand. Mostly, I think they explode a lot, but and
Like
there's that other
literally?
year sometimes.
Huh.
And then there was that one year when during the Day of Wonders parade when that guy was sitting on the chair and it just kept going up and up and up and up and up, and then one of the Griffin riders came and caught him and brought him back down to the ground. We never saw the chair again.
Mm.
Oh. Rest in peace. Moment of silence for that chair.
The Church of Gond is all about tinkering, craftsmanship, and they don't really put too many limits on their ideas, and will often try something before they've got all the kinks worked out. So they've been known to have some pretty spectacular failures.
Where are they located in the city? Are they nearby, or are they kind of?
The House of Inspired Hands, their main church, is over in the Sea Ward. It's not quite as large as the House of the Moon or the Spires of Morning, but it's something that's hard to miss if you're in the neighborhood.
I think it's worth checking out.
I mean, they may not keep track of all their automatons from the sound of it, but I don't know. Maybe they do.
I mean, if anything, not just that, but maybe one of their members was in the area and possibly knows something.
I suppose we can go take a look.
Hmm. But I'd say, how about we sleep it off first and then deal with that tomorrow, when they would more than likely be in a better mood and awake.
It is a bit late in the day.
All right. I suppose we can turn in for the night and make our way over there first thing in the morning.
Warren says, as he almost certainly has other plans for the evening.
And I'm gonna be like, yeah, sure, good idea. I'm gonna look at Blazing and be like, hey, you wanna go party?
What?
What?
I was like, hey, you wanna go party?
No, man, I'm good.
Alright, and then I'm just like,
All right.
I just go back to my room.
All right. Does anyone have any plans for the evening?
Sorry. I don't think so.
I'm gonna go take a bath.
I was gonna practice pottery in my bedroom, but that's just about it.
Reenacting a scene from Ghost alone.
Big Minotaur, like, yes.
It's the beginning scene from Titanic.
Here are we're hammered.
Okay, let's never do that again. Warren, did you have any intention to head out and investigate solo?
So the information that we got about the person fleeing on the ground and the mannequin fleeing on the rooftops, is there any correlation of the direction that either of them were headed and this
They're both heading in generally the same direction at approximately the same time. But you don't know if they were working together, one was following the other, or they were just heading in the same direction coincidentally.
right? I probably am gonna to at least take a look around, because it is late, but if there is some sort of, if the culprit is there, I don't think they're just gonna stick around till morning.
Okay. So I guess the next question would be, what are you looking for, and where are you looking for it?
Um,
Waterdeep, like this part of Waterdeep, is usually well lit at night. So you've got lamp posts and all of that. So you've got time to look around.
right. I mean, I don't really know what I'm looking for. Um, the the person who's injured is probably hiding, so I guess I'm just gonna be looking for clues for this mannequin that was running away. I mean, I don't know what they do with these mannequins. I don't know how common they are.
Okay, so maybe just a general search of the area.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Give me a perception check, investigation check.
Investigation. Okay. Ooh. 17 plus 6, so 23.
Um, the only thing that you really notice that's out of the ordinary is one, the watch patrols are doubled right now, and there are. You do come across a bit of an interesting scene. Um, there's two guys that are all but wearing the Zentarum uniform. There are two guys who aren't trying to hide who they work for. So they've got like the mercenary style armor on. Are being questioned by the guard, and it looks like an arrest is imminent.
And this is where is this just outside or is this in the
Yeah, it's in the neighborhood, a couple of blocks away. I kind of figured you just like go on a late night walk patrol kind of deal.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try and eavesdrop on this conversation to see exactly what is going on with the Zentarum.
Um, what you pick up is that the watchman saw these guys walking down the street and kind of did a stop and frisk kind of deal, and are arresting them for being members of the Zentarum. Is really what is going to work out to at this point in time. So whatever it was that's happened, something's changed in the attitude of the guard recently, where instead of them going from just handling the fallout from Zentarum activity, they're arresting Zents now, and they're casting a wide net. These guys don't sound like they're doing anything even remotely interesting, let alone illegal, when they got stopped.
Mm. Okay, well, I'm not going to involve myself in that then.
Yeah, to be honest, there's not much you could do.
Yeah.
You don't have the authority to overrule the guard in any way.
I'm gonna make my way over to this gone place, whatever the name of it that I keep forgetting is.
House of Inspired Hand.
I'll write that down.
At night, it's kind of an interesting sight because it looks a bit like a foundry, and from some of the windows, you can kind of see that type of orangish forge glow coming out of some of the windows. But the front doors are sealed up tight, right? But it's a large building. It's not as tall as the House of the Moon. It's not as glittering as the spires of Lathander. It does look like it's almost as fortified as the Temple of Tempest, which you briefly visited a few weeks ago. But it's the only really thing that stands out is the large gear emblem for Gond that's above the front gate.
And there's nobody around in the immediate vicinity?
As you're looking around, Give me a perception check.
That is... I rolled a 3, so another 8.
Okay. You don't see it coming at you, but a tiny mechanical sparrow flies directly into your shoulder, and it stings a bit, and then drops to the ground and like flops around, and it's like it's got that like metallic chittering sound as it tries to right itself and get back into the air, but it's just repeating a process, so it's spinning in a bit of a circle.
I'm going to carefully pick it up and inspect it a little bit closer. Trying not to let it fly away if it's trying to.
Sure. Like it doesn't have much horsepower, so hanging on to it's no big deal. And whatever mechanism's powering it's starting to slow down a little bit. You're judge of small moving parts, from working on locks and things like that. This is good quality craftsmanship. Some of these pieces in here would do any locksmith credit, but they're also moving quickly in addition to being small and intricate.
And it's still trying to. What's it trying to do now that I'm holding it? Is it still trying to fly,
it's like flapping, but slower. You probably don't. It might not be able to even get enough power to get off the ground again right now. Like there's an internal spring or something that's winding down.
Okay, I'm gonna pocket it for now. And if there's nobody else around, I guess I will turn around and go home.
Okay. You get home around midnight. You've been quite a night owl, so that's not even an unusual time home for you. Unless someone else wants to take care of something this evening, we can fast forward to the following morning. After everyone gets an extended rest, spells reset, any hit points you lost are back to full.
No.
Breakfast fruits are served.
Yeah.
Fruit.
Fruit. Team fruit.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna, as I'm kind of eating.
Yeah,
I'm gonna-
normal morning routines. Warren's up to make breakfast.
Yep.
Blaze sleeps in some type of uncomfortable position late.
In an armchair, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to be like down, the first one down after Warren's like doing his thing, and just be like, late night, huh?
No more than usual.
You were a little restless. Where'd you go?
Just went out for a walk. Where did you go?
I was
To
doing.
suck a dick.
I'm gonna hear that from like upstairs. Just I'm gonna hear that coming down the chimney. Not in this particular case, but I was practicing my pottery skills, and I just had noticed.
Well, you were gone for 3 days.
Yeah. No, I mean, what's happening? I'm so lost right now.
You were gone.
I was gone, I know, but like we just got up and
You left a note in the wall with a spoon.
With a spoon. You couldn't even use a fork.
I couldn't fucking find a fork. There was no silverware. That's the only thing I could find.
There's no silverware, just a spoon.
Yeah. Which is silverware, I know. I'm sorry. Listen, I just needed a placeholder, and that worked, alright?
Well, let's just leave it at that then, and I'm going to turn back to my breakfast.
Okay, well. And I'm just
Squidly's there eating his sausage sandwich, just waiting. This is high drama for him, watching you two argue in the morning.
It's like So, those animatronics, you know anything about them?
not really my area of expertise.
Can I see? Did the bird leave like a mark on him, like on his
No,
arm?
no. That's
Okay. I was gonna say. Aw, damn it. All right. All right. I'm just gonna continue like eyeing him suspiciously as I'm like eating, cause then I'm gonna think in the back of my mind, well, I also left suspiciously too with blazing, so that really is like calling the kettle black. But
I'm gonna walk in the kitchen and be like, "Ooh, awkward conversation. Good morning."
I'm just gonna like ignore you like 100%.
Okay, rude.
Well, Star, I don't see you as an early riser in the morning, so you'll probably come into all this late.
Yeah, I'll be late to the party.
Before long, eventually, all of you do end up down in the kitchen for your part of your morning. The kids have decided that they're going to take the day and go for an adventure of their own.
Uh-oh.
They try to be stealthy about it, but they're bad at that. And they mentioned that they were going to go check out the City of the Dead. Now, the City of the Dead's not nearly as dramatic as it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's a kind of a public. It's the city's graveyard, but it's well maintained and more like a park with crypts in it. So kind of think like Arlington is that sort of place where it's the place that you could go to visit. They plan on visiting for the day.
I'm gonna turn to the kids and be like, now, I need you to be careful, but I also want you to have fun. But don't fucking destroy anything, or else I will seriously come after you. You got that? I'll flex on you, and I don't want to do that.
Oh my god.
Flex on you.
Nat just shakes her head and walks off.
I'm trying to be a good parent, it's not working.
We're not their parents.
We're
I'll
not
call it-
parents.
If you see a ghost, let me know.
I'm gonna call after them as they're leaving to say, "Don't go into the sewers again." That's all I ask.
Squidly goes like, "No, we're not going to the sewers today. Not today."
Okay.
You better not.
So yeah, after the kids leave, you guys are left to your own.
So, we gonna go to that, place with those freaky moving dolls today?
I don't think that's what it's called, but sure, why not?
Well, there's no time like the present.
Whoa.
So, it's in the C district. We've been going
See
there a
what?
lot recently.
Yeah, we have.
Maybe we should just buy a second house there. It'd save us the trouble.
Let's not.
You want to
Yeah.
drop the money to buy a second house? Go right ahead.
You couldn't afford this house if you need to buy it.
I can dream,
Awkward.
can't I?
No.
We don't even want to fix up this one.
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, I think if we're all set eating, I think we're ready to make our way down there.
This time of day, the House of Inspired Hands has a bit of a different feel to it. It's a hive of activity. People are coming and going. Like there's wagons of stuff are coming and going. There's quite a bit of industry going on here, and the front gates are wide open with plenty of people involved.
So is this like a place of commerce? Like, is there anywhere we can go in? Like,
When you go in, and like the main hall is a public space, and the they call it the Hall of Exemplary Invention is the main area, and along like there's these pillars with things on display at the top of each one. The first one's a full-on clock tower with wood, iron, bronze, glass. It looks like someone's intended to take every possible building material and use it all in one device to make it as complicated as possible to make a clock. The next one is a model of a flying. It's like a boat that has these two flapping wings on the side and this large balloon floating above it. Next one has a mechanical dragon turtle. It's another model that has a plaque affixed to it. Big Belchy sank in Deepwater Harbor on Day of Wonders, 1363 DR.
I kind of whispered to everyone, I want that one.
That was roughly 100 years ago. The next one has another model with a big domed metal helmet over a mannequin. Looks like some type of diving suit. And the final one that's noteworthy is a miniature of a red submarine shaped like a manta ray. And the brass plaque on that one is the Scarlet Marpenoth, Lantanese submersible, launched 1489 DR, which would have been about 3 years ago. Marpenoth is a month that's roughly equivalent to October.
Oh, Red October.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I get it.
There's like 4 different Sean Connery references in Dragon Heist. So as you're looking at the models, a priest in it's not so much robes, but he's wearing a big leather apron that looks maybe about as equally appropriate as you're in front of a blast furnace as anywhere else. It's a bronze dragonborn. Walks up and greets you. Craftsman Valletta, can I be of service to you today?
Yeah, you missing any mannequins?
Hold on. I'm gonna step.
I mean, not mannequins, moving things, whatever they're called.
I'm gonna step into this conversation. I'm gonna be like, greetings. My name is Warren. I happen to have this device here, and I'm gonna pull out the mechanical sparrow and present it to him. And we were hoping we could get it serviced. It doesn't seem to be able to get off the ground anymore.
May I inspect it?
I'll hand it over to him.
He takes a look at it. Like takes one of the wings and folds it up a couple of times, and twists the tail and holds it up, and it flies in a circle and lands back in his hand. This is one of Nim's creations. It's working just fine. How did you come about having it?
I'm going to give him a strange look and I'm going to say, well, I've had this for a while. Does he sell any of his work?
No, Nim does not leave the compound. Does not leave the temple.
That's interesting. We've actually seen quite a few of these mechanical devices in our neighborhood lately. Is that normal for your whatever you do here?
Well, many of our craftsmen do create and sell things, but Nim is not one of them. But this is clearly his work.
Well, I'm gonna level up with them. We're not so much interested in the sparrow. We're interested more in your more life-sized humanoid contraptions.
I see. Were you looking to purchase something? Commission something?
We're not looking to commission something. We're more looking for one in particular.
I'd be happy to assist you, but I'm going to need more.
One that's gone like rogue.
One that may be slightly charred.
I
smells like shit down here.
He likes roofs.
Thank you.
Are you accusing us of something?
Not at all.
No, we're just accusing one of your contraptions. It's completely separate from you. Don't worry about it.
How did you come in possession of this? And he holds up the sparrow.
I'm gonna eye Warren, be like, yeah, Warren, how did you?
Yeah, Warren.
That's a very good question, actually.
It actually almost came into possession of me not too long ago, actually.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna keep eyeing you suspiciously. I'm not gonna say anything else.
Where were you when that happened?
I was outside.
Obviously.
Well, maybe we should talk to Nim. See if he can shed some light on how this left the compound.
Is he far?
No,
That's-
no. He's in the East Tower.
I'm willing to go meet with him then.
It leads you through the temple, and this is the busiest place you have ever been in. Yeah, you can hear that pounding of hammer on anvil, and sawing of wood, and noises that are far more difficult to identify. And there's just so many people coming and going that just moving through some of the areas is difficult as so many people are passing, coming and going. Once you cross the temple and go up the several flights of stairs to the top of the East Tower, there's a iron-bound wooden door locked on top. And Valletta knocks on the door. Nim, this door should never be locked. We need to talk to you. And there's silence.
Oh, fuck.
He knocks again. Nim, unlock this door immediately.
We're gonna wait a little bit, and then I'm gonna tell the guy, hey, you might want to step back, and I'm gonna try just kicking down the door.
Oh god, what if he's on the other side?
And just kind of crosses his arms. He's like, okay, this is happening.
Yep.
But he doesn't seem concerned in any way.
I'm not concerned
No.
either. I'm gonna just shrug
Yeah.
it. Minotaurs, what can you do, alright?
This is what I do. I have to do it. It's in my nature. So I'm gonna try to just break this door down.
Sure.
Oh god.
Fuck
Give me
yeah.
a strength athletics check.
Oh yeah. That is going to be a what number is that?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
there we
Please be
go.
a 1.
Sorry, that is a 14.
Oh,
Okay.
I was gonna hope it was
There
gonna
is
be
a
a 1.
resounding, thunderous crack as Broomstick hits this door, and it does not move.
I'm just gonna get fucking pissed at this door.
No,
and I'm-
you're going to give me a Constitution check.
God damn it. This door sucks. Let's see.
Valletta disagrees. This door is of the finest quality.
I wasn't asking you. That is going to be a 18.
Okay. You're not concussed in any major way, but you are absolutely certain that door will never be moved by your head.
I'm gonna turn to the guy and say, fuck your door. I hate it.
Can I detect magic on the door?
Sure. The door has absolutely no magic involved with it whatsoever.
Alright.
It is pure craftsmanship.
Nice.
And none of that means very much as Valletta stands in front of the door and casts a knock spell. And that just flings the door wide open. It also opens out.
Oh,
Well, why didn't he do that in the first place?
It's
Well.
rare that you get such a good opportunity to have the craftsmanship of your devices tested in the field.
I'm just gonna do like this sound of like Marge Simpson mooing with the mouth closed kind of thing, like just upsetty spaghetti sitting in the corner, just not happy.
How me?
How me?
After after the door opens, Valletta walks right in, and this is a workshop. There's clockwork contraptions all over the place. Many of them are in states of semi-construction. Difficult to tell if they're being put together or taken apart. Some you can tell that parts are being repurposed and used in different ways. And laying over on top of one of the pile of parts is a clockwork man, about 5 foot tall, who's just seems to like have pulled bits of clockwork over him to hide in the pile of clockwork bits, and he looks like that,
Ooh.
albeit collapsed and in the pile. And his job at hiding himself is amateurish at best. He's sitting right there. And he's like, Nim, how did your sparrow come to be in the possession of Mr. Woodbrook? And Nim lays there flat. We can see you, Nim. Please get up. At that, he finally does stand. And he gives out a series of like clicks and whirs. And Valletta responds, "You made a friend." This is your friend? No. Shake, the whirs and clicks again. And he lowers his head, and you can tell that Nim is embarrassed or shamed by what he's done. And he just slowly pulls up his hand and points over towards the workbench. And you can see on the workbench is a human arm that looks almost identical to Nim. And this shocks Valletta. What if there are rules against? Do you know that you cannot create another? And Nim just almost visibly shrinks in size as he realizes that he can't hide this anymore. And from that point, the conversation between Valletta and Nim is a little bit hard to follow. You're only getting one side of it. But Valletta's asking questions, getting answers, and almost ignoring the five of you as you stand there in this cramped workshop. But what you can piece together is that Nim built a copy of himself. And it escaped.
God damn it.
And it's been on the loose for a little bit over a month. And Nim's been using these sparrows to try to find it, but they're not working properly for that purpose. And he's built another device which is better able to track the other Nimblewright, which is what he's called. However, it has a very limited range. And he pulls out this device. And I'm not going to try to describe it because it looks like that.
Huh.
It looks like if Mary Poppins went to Hogwarts.
Sure.
Sure.
But Nim pumps the handle and spins a bit and points it at himself, and the parasol at the top spins quickly and chimes a bell as it goes. And Valletta explains that Nim created a nimble rate detector to try to find his copy, duplicate, and was going to be leaving the temple at night, try to track down the copy and bring him back home. But Nim, being a thinking automaton, is not allowed to leave the compound.
Can I ask why?
Nim was a gift from the Lantanese. They created him. Lantan is an island off the continent of Chult, and the Church of Gond there is almost in charge of the entire nation, at least from Valletta's point of view. And their clockwork technology is above and beyond anything they're capable of here. It's steampunk to the crazy extreme of D&D. And possibly one of the expansions for 2019. The jury's still out on that one. Yeah. Valletta's disappointed in Nim, furious at Nim, and in quite a tough spot. Relations with the Lantanese are important for not just the temple, but for the city. Big things are in play that could change the fate of Waterdeep in the future. We cannot anger the Lantanese at this point. But what Nim's done is a violation of our agreement with the Lantanese. We need to get that clockwork back. Copy, the nimble right copy, quickly as possible and as quietly.
We're willing to help with that as long as we have their cooperation in it.
I can help you indirectly without drawing suspicion to what's going on. But you can most certainly use this nimble right detector to that end.
All right. We probably should ask a couple of questions before we set out. So the Nim is a thinking construct. Is this nimble right that is created also sentient or whatever equivalent?
Almost certainly. Nim, the name of this construct, claimed to have created a duplicate of himself. Nim is not magical. He is mechanical. It's a divine mystery as to how it truly has intelligence. A blessing of God. So I do not know how he works. Could not create a copy of Nim if I wanted to.
I'm going to ask, well, we know that this copy is on the loose, but would you know of anyone who may have possibly known about this? Anyone else?
I was unaware of this until a few moments ago.
Well, I'm going to redirect my question to Nim. Is that his name?
Yeah, the nimble right. He shrugs, clicks, whirs. Valletta's responds, Nim hasn't seen his copy since it left the compound 6 weeks. and
Oh.
Nim has never left.
Okay, so a little bit of worrying news. That copy might not be alone. There might be someone else who either knows about it and is accompanying it, or trying to do bad things with it.
I don't care what their purposes are or what this nimble rat is doing. We need it returned as quickly as possible. Whether it's returned in working condition or not is irrelevant.
I wouldn't say that in front of Nim. Just he. Can you be a little bit more sensitive towards him, please? And I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna look back and be like,
come out of eyes, they would be hitting you square in the chest right now. And since there's a lot of magic going on here, and Valletta is a priest of some power, it's possible daggers will come out of his eyes.
that's okay. I am like a few feet thick of like meat, so go for
Mhm.
it. You know?
Oh.
But
Okay.
I can't express the true seriousness of what's going on. This I can't explain to you all the possible repercussions of it. But if relations with the Lantanese falter in some way, it would be a disaster of epic.
All right. I'm going to bow to him and say that we understand the complexities and intricacies of this situation very well, and we will certainly try to find this thing. What's the likelihood that this creation is dangerous and could be trying to hurt other people?
I would be concerned. When we first got Nim, he's been with us for several years. He knew almost nothing. But he learns quickly. So he can imprint knowledge and skills that he sees.
That's not good.
All right. If we run into this thing, how do we communicate with it to get it to come back with us?
That it can understand. Nim could understand Common from almost the moment he was activated. So I would expect Carpe to do the same. Being able to reason with it, however, I don't know. Each Nimblewright is unique in its experiences, so they're each unique in their action, in their reaction.
And I would assume that even though it understands us, it wouldn't probably be able to communicate back.
For reasons I don't understand, the Lantanese did not create them with the ability to speak Common.
So they don't speak in general, they just make noises.
Yes.
And
It's a language of its own, but not truly a language of this world.
so basically body language.
It's the language of mechanics.
Okay.
All right. Well, so how do we use this thing? And I guess gesture to the Wainwright or Nimwright detector, whatever it is.
Pump the handle, turn the knob, and if it's near a Nimblewright, the top spins. It gives you a range of about 500 feet to detect something. You can use it to triangulate positions if you can't find it in an area. Searching the city without some starting point would be a needle in a haystack, particularly if it's moving. But if you can narrow that search down to a single ward or smaller location, it should be effective in tracking something down.
Okay, well, we know it was in the vicinity of our residence at the very least.
That provides a good starting point.
Yeah, I guess we have to start there. I don't know. Unless they can provide any other information to help us track this thing down, I think that's where we have to start.
Yeah, unless you can find some way to fly above the city to speed your search.
I look at Rodrigo. Hey, you want to float?
Hey, you.
I mean, I can't fly though.
You can get on the roof of our house.
Tie a rope to me. I'll.
Balloon.
Well, I mean, there might be some options, but I don't know. I guess we can start just canvassing the area that we know it was in and see if we hit
Wait,
anything.
did one of their automations, like the ones that they had on display, did one of those fly?
There was a flying ship, but that was a model of a ship. And you've heard rumors of airships. No, there would be more than rumors. The airship of Acquisitions Incorporated has come and gone from Waterdeep several times over the last few years.
Too bad they're not around.
It's very similar to the model that was in the lobby, except this one has the image of a dwarven face on the balloon.
I'm
One
gonna.
Binwin bronze bottom if you look into it.
Ah, yes. I'm gonna look at, or I'm gonna ask the priest. Is there any way that you know of that we could easily get an airship?
One does not easily get airship.
Well, I'm just a cow, so I wouldn't know. You're gonna have to explain it to me.
Obviously. I don't have time to explain everything to you.
I'm just gonna leave at that point. I don't.
I think we have enough to get started looking at the very least.
Okay. And that's going to give us a good part to stop for the night.
Excellent.
Moo, motherfucker.
Moo, motherfucker.
The idea that I'm kind of floating in the back of my mind right now, in case we can't find him very quickly just in our own ward, we just potentially earned a favor with Octavius Thon, and he is a Griffin Knight or whatever it was, right? He knows how to fly. Is whatever
that's true.
they
Yeah, Rodrigo, you could possibly work your magic.
I don't know if we need to go right into that, but
Wait,
it's an
Rodrigo, can you turn into animals that can fly or no?
option. Not yet.
Not
I don't
yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Level 8 for the ability to turn into something that flies.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's,
mean-
that's a long time.
It's a last resort, but it's something we could try if we
Level
absolutely
4, you
needed
get
to get
things to
something
swim.
to fly.
Wait,
what?
what?
Level 4, you get things that can swim. Level 8, you get things that can fly.
I thought you said level 40.
40.
Oh, good God.
Oh god, we've been
I mean,
waiting forever.
It maxes out at 20. So,
Jeez.
Thus, I was confused.
Rachel,
Yeah.
turn into a tuna. We can get an indoor pool.
That's not the fish I would turn into, but okay.
yeah.
For you, I will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
I
for
mean-
you.
1, octopus, way more options. And 2, orca.
Oh, dude.
Dude,
Uh-huh.
I was gonna
yes.
do that in the middle of the street. Just turn into a giant freaking orca.
I was like, this is just completely off topic, but I was like self-brainstorming ideas for a future character and was thinking of a orca riding paladin as an option. So
I actually have a question. If you're below level to turn into things that can fly, can you turn into things that can glide?
I would want to hear a good story involved for that, but I couldn't
Flying
be
squirrel?
convinced. Of
I
something like
was.
yeah.
So if you level up to the point where you can turn into something that can swim, could you turn into a flying fish and glide? Because
Oh my God,
they can go pretty
yes.
far.
Yeah, because that's like I would give that one as an option. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just remember that, just in case it ever comes up.
Yeah, I like the way that thought process worked out.
Hey, it's a flying fish.
Found a rule, and the first thought you had was to subvert it.
Nick, I'll turn into a mouse, and you just chuck me as hard as you can in the air.
Why not
Mid-air
porcupine?
just turns into an elephant.
Yeah. On
Oh
that
my
note,
God.
we had a great game. So if you need to track me down, Evil Sales Ass on Twitter is by far the easiest way to go. I'm fairly certain we're not going to have a game next week. We got too much going on in real life for that to pull off. Nick will be working, I will be driving, etc. So we will see you next on the 21st. Yeah, that would be when I'd expect to see us next. And let's pass this off to Jess before she passes out.
No, I'm here. I'm okay. Hi. You can find me at Sweet Nine Tails, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, not Tumblr anymore. Too many T's. Not really posting much at the moment. I'm mostly sleeping the last couple days. Because, recovering from surgery and drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. And I before I ramble on forever, whoever's going to go next can go next.
Rachel.
I'm the ugly ducky, I think, on
Yeah, Ugly Ducky
Twitter?
97.
Like Duck 97.
All right, yeah.
It's funny as you stumble out and find that to try to get that out. It's
It's
like
right
basically right under your chin
It's
for
right
anyone
there.
watching.
I'm not I'm not watching it.
All you have to do is point. Just point.
Oh, yeah.
Ugly Ducky 97.
Sky.
Yo. Hey. You can track me down on Twitter at Fizzlewhistle. Other than that, I kind of complain about a lot of things.
Yeah,
So-
you do.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And Oliver, the human enigma, cannot be found anywhere because he doesn't want to be.
Until we come back here, whenever that'll be.
Yep. And you can find me at BlueAura94YT on Twitter. You can find me BlueAura94 generally anywhere else, but also on the CarpeNerdus Twitter page as well, which we have all that information listed right below the chat here. And you'll see me either posting random things on my Twitter or trying to keep the other things alive because that's my life. I'm the social media manager at this point.
Excellent. I just noticed that the guy who DMs the game I play in on Saturday nights has been watching us. He threw a Merilith at us at level 2 the other day. So if you thought I'm scary, he's worse. Meriliths are like these 6-armed uber demon things that we were just plain terrified of, and I love that game, and I can't wait for Saturday.
Yes.
Which I won't be playing there either because I'll be visiting Nick to run my game up there.
Yes, and
Oh,
I'm
damn it, Nick.
quite excited for Hey, listen, it's the first time that I'm actually not working on a weekend,
Okay.
so...
I'm sorry.
Alright, other than that, I think
On
it's...
that note, we're going to shut this thing down.
Indeed. So have a great night, everyone.